Hey everybody. I know we're waiting for Miss Kia. Let's see if we can get her on. All right. Hey Kia, can you hear me?
I can. Put my earpods in.
Me too, girl. My face all in this screen. Um, I am enjoying my this pregame because if y'all don't know, I am a huge sports fan. I love my Steelers. They already lost twice this week, so I'm still gonna represent with my Steeler socks on, regardless on a football Sunday. Hey everybody!
I
I see
don't
a lot
have
of
a team.
familiar
Well,
names.
I guess I'm gonna still stick with the Saints.
Okay, well do that. Do that. Ain't
You
nothing wrong
know,
with the
I
Saints.
haven't found nobody else yet, so I'm gonna have to stick with the Saints for now
No, I'm
until.
Steelers by birthright. I'm Steelers by birthright. Born and raised in Pittsburgh, PA. So I don't have a choice. It just is what it is. I love my team. I love my city. I'm just going to give a couple more people. It's 7:01. We have quite a few people in already who's popping in, and I know sometimes it takes people a little bit. You know how our people are. We like to come in a little bit late, so we're gonna give them a little bit more time. So we're gonna be just chilling. Yes, I'm enjoying myself. This is where I am most of the time. I call this my, you know how most men have a man cave.
Mm-hmm.
I call this the hen house
Oh,
because I
okay.
got three boys. This is the only women allowed in here. Me and my girls, and so this is what I do. Even though I'm a big sports fan, so all my stuff is sports related. I got my Steelers, I got my jerseys, I got everything hanging up. Very much a sports fan and a
Seven fly.
tomboy.
I'm looking at someone said they haven't seen me since the sixth grade. Hey, I'm
Elementary
just looking
school
at the comments.
friends.
Yeah, that's way back.
All
Uh
right.
huh.
So everybody who was popping in, obviously was with us last week, and we talked a lot about sexual healing and after a divorce, shortly after a divorce, what
Mm-hmm.
a woman in her 40s finding her sexuality, finding out who she is, identifying what she likes, what she wants to do, and being okay with it. So some of you follow me on TikTok or on Facebook. I had this one little TikTok video that showed where the guy's wearing his yellow hat. It's one of my favorite colors. And he's like, ooh, I'm turning into a slut. I feel my body changing. I'm having a metamorphosis. And sometimes that's how you feel when you turn 40. Your body's going through all these different changes physically, and we're supposed to be going through menopause and premenopausal. So we're having all these different changes. Our bodies don't kind of know what's going on, but we have this urge or these urges that we did not have prior to us hitting like 41, 42, 43. That puts us more in line with 18, 19, 20-year-old males. And that's our sex drive seems to shoot up when we turn 40. Have you experienced that? See, I'm a little farther off it. Next week I'll be 48. So Kia is just give
48.
yes, ma'am, 48.
Well,
And
come
so
on.
so Kia is just hitting that. Kia, talk to me about that. Have you discovered that you're having a sexual change or a sexual revolution since you've hit your 40s?
You know what? I don't know because I feel like I don't know if it's changed. I feel like it's always been there. It's always been heightened, so to speak. I think different circumstances call for different things. So I am finding that I'm trying to, I guess, rediscover myself. So in a sense, yes, because I'm used to a certain routine, a certain pattern, things just being, and I don't want to not say this like it's just blah, because, it was great then, but just now focusing on myself and not having to focus on anyone else. I do think that it's different. It's real different, but I'm loving it. I'm loving the journey. I'm loving figuring out who I am, what I want sexually. I'm learning yeah, the things that satisfy me. All while also wanting to be able to, satisfy your partner or whatever. But I just think overall, I don't know. I guess because even though I'm on the dating scene with a person, it's kind of hard because I haven't dated
Right.
around. So it's just like being with that person and rediscovering and doing things. I think that's the exciting part about it. So it's like figuring it out with my partner
Right.
versus
Right.
and the thing is like it's a fun process figuring it out with him.
Right.
So, just trying to I guess just maneuver through this new thing because it is unfamiliar territory. Like I said, used to, being married for that long, but now being able to actually just go out there and explore and being so comfortable and so open with it. And we touched on that before. Like,
Right. Right.
yeah. And it's like before we got to this session, I was just going back and forth because it's like you kind of shy away from the topic. So for me, I was like, ooh, like, how am I going to talk about it? And, I even reached out to you, but I'm like, this is just natural. It's normal. It's what
Right.
people go through. And it's like, why be so shy about embracing your sexuality and what you want and demanding, giving out those expectations of this is what I need, this is what I require, and making sure they do that for you. I don't understand it, but I'm starting to be more comfortable because I do realize that the difficulty for me comes in trying to hold back
Right.
because I want to talk about everything. I want to
Right.
discuss everything. And, I have to be mindful of the audience and all these other things. But me being so open and
Right.
honest, like I want to be able to just say, hey, this, and this, and not feel like I have to draw back without
Oh,
the judgment and all this other stuff. Because, like, the real Kia, hey,
right. 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 And that's just part of society as a whole too, that tell women, especially women over 40, that we have to live under everyone else's reign of, oh, you can't be too sexually active. And sexual activity does not mean sleeping around with everyone. It could be, I found this one person and I want him every night. I want him twice a day. I can have him if my perfect weekend would be him and me in the bed ordering DoorDash and just watching football, watching and having sex all day. That would be a perfect weekend. But
And that's where I'm at with it. And that's why I feel bad. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm in a place now, it's like, I want it like right now.
And now you start to feel like you can hear like what boys, where men are coming from when they were saying that, like, oh my gosh, is this what men have been feeling their whole lives? This has to
No,
be
what
crazy.
happened was he shouldn't have did me the way he did me that soon. Got me out here just wide open. You can't do that to nobody and not be, but I got to take some fault in that too. But you're right. It's like just wanting, that's the thing, just wanting that person all the time and wanting to do any and everything with them all the time. Like even when we together, it's just like, you don't have to be paying me no attention, but I want to kiss and touch and rub and this and that. And the thing is, I've always been a person like that. That's
Right.
always been my thing. I always want to, the spontaneous things, yeah,
In
I
the
don't know if I
bathroom, I'm trying to cook, and what you doing back there? Stop! Quit
yeah,
playing! Quit playing! And then next thing you know,
it's on and popping. But that's fun. That's the thing. So, I mean, just embracing sexuality. The only hard part is, like I said, my person is not here. So it's like you have to wait for the build up before you get with that person. But just to get back like over, I think like when it comes to sex, like sometimes I be feeling like I enjoy it a little too much. I don't know
what do
if
you
that
mean
is
by
even a thing.
that?
I don't know, because sometimes they be like, look,
No.
ma'am, I need a break. You gotta slow down. But I'm like, I gotta take it all in. But seriously, it's like, leave me alone for a minute. I need a break. Nah, bruh. This is what
That's
we
that.
here to do. And I guess that's what you're talking about, that overdrive.
Right,
That
right. It's like your
overdrive.
body goes into overdrive, and it's just like a sexual urge, and that's why sometimes I feel like, is this what men feel like all the time? And how could you just go to work and live your life, and this is how you feel, wanting somebody and yearning for somebody, and just
All day,
can't
every
get
day.
enough. It's insatiable, and some
Mm-hmm.
women don't want to talk about that part of being having an insatiable appetite. And how do we talk to our mothers and our aunts about this? Do they feel the same way? Do my girlfriends feel the same way? And where can I feel comfortable talking about these things? And so how do I proceed when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to these urges and being single now and not
Mm-hmm.
wanting to fall under the moniker of, oh, am I a hold? Am I going to get titled? Am I going to get stigmatized as that? It's not that. It's about having someone and having an urge that you have a biological urge and being able to fulfill that in a safe, consensual way.
You know,
And what
and
does
I
that
thought
look
about
like?
that too. Because at one point I was like, ooh, like, how is it going to be perceived? Like when we did remember I called you and I was like, wait, this, that. But no, I shouldn't. And the thing is, for anybody that wants to judge a person for embracing their sexuality and just doing what they do, you know what? I find that a lot of them people,
Freakiest
they
one.
freakiest ones, be laying it low and spreading it wide on a regular and want to judge some other people. My thing is I'm open and honest about mine. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And that's what it is. But a lot of people, and I had to check myself. I really
Right.
did, because I'm like, you know what, this is life.
Right.
And if
Right.
somebody's going to judge me and say, well, you know what, you shouldn't be talking about that. That's in the privacy of your own home. I'm single. I ain't telling nobody nothing about me. Well, at that time, like when I was, that was my safe space with my spouse. I'm out here dating,
Right.
even though I'm only got that one person that I'm hooked on right now. But that's the thing. I can discuss it. I can talk about it. I can explore and share the wonderful things that we do, because it's wonderful. You know,
Right.
and so
Right.
it's, yeah, I don't
And
just,
then we don't allow our pages and our Coras and our daughters to be able to talk about it and explore their sexuality too. But I think they seem to be a little bit more free now than we are. And I kind of embrace that. And I kind of like, oh my gosh, you know, they could be on their, oh, they wearing thongs, they're wearing this. I'm like, oh, you know, I wish I had that freedom to do that. But now that I am 40, I know myself. I know
mm-hmm,
who I am. I think once you hit a certain age, you get to that point of saying, I don't have to please anybody. I'm going to
mm-hmm,
be who I'm going to be. I'm going to enjoy my life. I've been living my life for my kids. I've been living my life for my spouse. I've been living my life for my
mm-hmm.
job. I've been living my life to appease other people. I've been living my life for my church. I've been living my life for XYZ, and I haven't lived my life for me. And this is what it looks like. I enjoy being touched. I enjoy touching other people. I enjoy doing things that most people wouldn't think was safe or prudent for most women. And then I was
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, I talk to myself about that sometimes too, just even being in therapy and being a coach as well. And I laugh sometimes. You remember when men used to deny having oral sex? No man ever
They never did it.
they never did it, but
I
everybody was
don't
getting
do
it.
that.
Now
Now they offering. I've had a few people just walk up to me. That's all I want to do to you. Let me just
so
do that, please. Nah, bro. No. But the simple fact that you just walking up offering your services, and I appreciate it. However,
right,
I'm going to have
right.
to decline. But nowadays,
How do we get there? From
how
people
do we even
saying
get there?
that
Uh-huh.
that is we're not going to make it taboo anymore. We're not going to talk about how women are supposed to please men, but men are not supposed to please women, and then we're
Mm-hmm.
not supposed to enjoy it. And then and now everyone talks about it. Everyone does it. It's just, but everyone had been doing it. It wasn't like
Yeah.
a switch that got turned on in their heads, and then all of a sudden every man
It
is
was
doing
just
it.
private.
No, it was
Mm-hmm.
very private, and because it was some stigma and shame associated with that. That's not
Yeah.
what that is anymore. We don't need to have that anymore. And it's the same when it comes to what pleases us and what makes us happy, and when it comes to exploring our
Mm-hmm.
sexuality and what that looks like. So when we do that, how do we discover that? If you're not trying new things, if you're not
Mm-hmm.
focusing on new things, if you're not allowing yourself to be free and being open to see what's out there for you and what you do and do
Mm-hmm.
not like. And
Yeah.
so I think that's a good thing as being in your 40s, being able to explore what your sexuality looks like, what love making looks like, what love making feels like, the difference between love and sex. That's
Oh,
another thing
yeah.
women
That's a
we can't
good
talk about.
one.
Love
Mm-hmm.
and sex. We all, as women, we, especially over 40, we gonna tie that. If we have if our fluids are touching, that's love. And we, you know, we, there's a connection, there's a soul connection. There's not always a soul connection every time
Mm-hmm.
that you have sex with someone, and men do it all the time. The women have to feel like, oh, we're different because, you know, they're going inside of us, so we have to be receiving. Not always. Not always.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfectly okay for you to have a animalistic urge towards someone and not feel love or feel like this is your next husband, or you have sex with him once and you done planned your wedding the very next day and then your feelings is hurt when he don't call you back.
Oh, let me tell you though. After the second time, I was ready. I was like, listen, this got to be it. It don't get no better than this. Had mine blown, just so blown. Listen, it is, but you're right. Like you gotta be able to control it because sex and love making. There's a big, and if they do it too good to you,
You get confused.
you're gonna get confused. You're gonna feel like ain't no way he did this to me and he don't love me just a little bit. This man
But
got to be feeling a little bit. But yeah, you're
because
right.
that's because we haven't had the sexual partners and been able to explore how men make loves and how what making love to a man looks like and him making love to you look like, and that's having sex. We don't have that long script and that long list that most men have. So when we get someone who is really good at what they do, we're confused. Oh,
Folk, I'm
he
still
did me
confused.
first. He did me first. Oh, I don't have to go get the towel afterwards. Oh, wait. He's rubbing my back afterwards. Oh my God, he's taking his time. He
Oh,
got the slow music. He's caressing me. It's not what we see on
rubbing
TV
it.
and it's bang, 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 bang. And so we don't know that, but we haven't been exploring enough and we haven't been
Mm-hmm.
allowed to see and taste different ways of having sex and to know that this is not what love making is. That our heads are all twisted up and confused because we don't we never had nothing like that until we've been with the man for a year and he 2 months away from asking us to marry him and he's doing this now, not knowing that there's some brothers that came out the womb with the knowledge
Came
do
out the
this
womb
and pulled
with
it.
the knowledge. Like I said last time, I was ready to ask for his cash app. Like, what is your routing number and stuff? Because we in love. Get your groomsmen together because I got my bridesmaids lined up. Let's go ahead and do this because you're playing with me. You are so true, but you have to because it's such a thin line. But I want to go back to something you said before we got into this about like the Aunt Coras and not talking to, it was so, my daughter is 17 in college.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about everything. Even
Yes.
this right here, even this conversation right here that we're having. Everything. I make sure that she's comfortable. And it spoke to me because when I went to visit her this weekend, the
Mm-hmm.
fact that she was so open to tell me, Mama, this is how I feel and this is what I want to do, blah, blah, blah. And we had the conversation. Because my
Right.
thing is, I don't want to be to where I make her feel sheltered, like you can't talk about sex.
Right.
And as a
Right.
result, she tell me what she feeling. Oh, Mama, I'm this, that, and we talking, she's not, but the thing is, she feels comfortable enough to pick up that phone and she gonna call me and give me the ins and outs. And not only that, the babies all in the dorm rooms is telling me everything. They're like, oh, because your mama's so cool. She's open and honest and talk. So I think it's important to, like you said, just have that dialogue because it's not taboo. It's not a secret. Sex is a part of life. You're
Right.
going to do it and you need to, if you're going to do it, you need to enjoy it because I've had bad sex. I've had great sex. I've had
Right.
phenomenal sex.
Right. And horrible sex.
Oh, horrible. Ugh. But then sometimes feelings will make you feel like that thing good and it ain't good.
Right.
Because you
Right.
love them and it be garbage.
Right.
It'd be like,
Right.
why was I
Right.
so crazy about this man and loving and legs to the moon and stuff? And I ain't really into it. But then you meet some, like we said, that just blow your mind. And now you just,
Now you've been
I
put on
know.
game.
And here's the thing, it's like I be waiting, like, oh, I can't wait till we get together again because what we gonna do next?
Right. And being able to be open and explore. And you don't have to be to be a divorcee. You don't have to be, you can be in your marriage and feel and still discover this and still have these feelings and be able to say, okay, look, baby, I've been thinking about X, Y, and Z. Let's try something different. And how do you do that with someone you've had a long-term relationship with? Or how do you do that? I want to explore, or my urges are changing, and I want to do this and this without having a feeling that person is going to be judging you. That's where you sit down ahead of time before you get into the bedroom, before you get into a situation is when you talk to that person.
I can't do it during.
Hey, right?
I can't
that's not the time. You can, but that's not the best time if you've been in a long-term relationship with somebody.
I be springing on, like, hey, bro, I feel like we need to do this real quick.
But in a long-term relationship, you've been married for 15, 16, 17, 18 years. And then you ain't never did the one thing with the twirl up and down. You're like, where you learn that twirl up and down from?
You right about it.
We need to talk about this. This is what I'm feeling, these urges. My drive is getting a little bit more increased and I want to explore a little bit more. Let's talk about this. And what are you open to? What are some things you would like to try? And then you can have that conversation not just with your partner, but with your husband, with your wife. Just talk about these things before you get into the bedroom and it becomes a problem. And it's like, where'd that come from? So that you have to have that connection with that person to be able to say that too, and open up that dialogue and say, this is what I'm feeling, and I'm feeling a little bit more. Sometimes it's like, I'm feeling less. I've been having sex with you for 20 years. It feels different. It feels mundane. It feels routine. I don't want to keep doing this. What can we do different? Where can we go different? So what are some of the things that you can do? Sometimes you got to mix it up. And how does mixing it up, man? That doesn't mean we're going to go to the hotel and we can go do missionary at the house.
At the hotel.
At the hotel.
Just change the environment. Same position, but we're going to do it down the street this time.
All you did was blew $120 to do it the same way.
To do the same thing. No.
Try something different. Different flavors, touching, caressing, who goes first, who goes last. It's okay to get pointers. You're not the sexual guru. You're not. So what do? Oh, women can't look at pornography. Okay, but men look at pornography and then they get mad at us, but we don't know how to do what this lady's doing on the screen. Maybe we need to start doing some research. Let's look and see, even though it's not realistic. But what kind of porn you be watching? What kind of porn you watch?
You can learn some good stuff though.
Right, but
they teach you a lot of good techniques.
Right, and it lets you know a lot about your partner. Like sometimes, like, hey, don't be closing the computer down. Let me see what you watching. Oh, you into two girls, and is that what you into? Is that what you're trying to do? Is that your fantasy? If you don't talk about it and leave it open to be able to for him to approach you with it, then that's when the problems come out. Ask them, what type of porn you look at,
and you have to be open to it. Watch it together. Watch it together. Get you some popcorn. Right. Sit down. We're going to take some notes. What's she doing that I need to be doing for you? Because we're going to figure this thing out. But it's normal.
What you like about that? What turns you on about that? What turns you on about that?
And pay attention to their body language, too, because they're going to tell you. Right. They are going to tell you with the way they start adjusting. And, they're going to let you know what they like without even saying it.
It will jump when he likes it.
Without even saying it. So, you're right. That does help the whole situation. But all of that, just it's all in the discovery of what you think you like and what you think you don't like. Because I'm learning a whole lot of stuff about me. But then again, being comfortable and being willing and open to just try any and everything at any given time.
And letting them know what the boundaries are. And we talked about that last week. It's real easy. Talk about your boundaries. So like me and my partner, he knows I'm not into group. I have a friend that's poly. Him and his wife are very poly. I'm going to try to get him on the show too.
Oh,
but him and his wife,
they're
poly, and they're cool with that. That's not my thing. I am a one man, one woman, me, you, whatever it is. Those are my boundaries. So whatever it is he asked me to do, I'm not going to tell him no, as long as just he and I. And he know I don't do, the poop and the pee. We ain't R. Kelly in.
We ain't doing none of that.
And that's about talking about your boundaries. So then once it comes into class, it comes into the bedroom, there's no class that need to be held because he already knows. We ain't got to go over the X, Y's, and Z's. You already know my boundaries. Now, if you ask me to do this, you ask me to do, I ain't got no hair. Okay, hold on. You like to pull hair? Hold on. Let me get my tracks in. And we're going to do this.
We're going to figure that thing out.
Let me go figure it out. Let me put this wig on. Let me throw this do-rag on so you can touch the back of this do-rag. Whatever you need to do, but I'm going to make it happen for you. We're going to make it happen.
But you're right, because I have to think about the things that, like, what am I interested in not? And I remember this was a past situation where just doing like a group conversation. What was it called? A mixer.
Oh, mixer. Okay.
And the one question was like something you think you would try, and I brought up threesome. But then I had to take my answer back because I was like, the only position I would have would be moral support for him and the other person because I'm not into females. So it was just one of those things. So that's another thing where it's like, okay, boundaries, because you don't know. It's like, once you say it, it's like, okay, it's too many rules. And then two, it goes back to being comfortable in the relationship, because some people, it's okay if you want to try those types of things, but y'all have to have a level of respect and understanding between each other. Right. But if the person already got you on edge, that ain't the thing you want to try, bro. You don't want to do that. So it was just other little things now, like I'm learning, like for instance, like one-on-one, all bets are off. We don't do no bodily fluids though. But it's whatever. It's open to whatever, as long as it's respectful, this, that, and the other, and we're both comfortable. But just figuring that out. And I think for me, what I'm learning with myself is, as long as I'm comfortable with you, there's nothing I won't try.
So you were uncomfortable before with the threesome, but you're comfortable now. You're willing to explore.
That's the thing. See, I think even with that situation, because it's like, what am I there for? I don't want, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just there to like cheer y'all on, because I don't want no part of no female. Nothing against people that do, but I just know that's not my thing. Right. But the thing is, it was certain things that I was curious about, because, you hear people, they'll talk about them. And then I've had people that say, girl, don't do that. Did it, don't do it. Right. So it's like, but dang, because it's just being so open sexually. Right. Like it's just things you want to try and explore. Like the boring
knowing
stuff
yourself,
like knowing yourself. And things that I feel are normal. Some people are like, girl, you did that. I'm like, girl, it's normal. Like, that's what you're supposed to do, ain't it? Like, y'all don't do that. Or, just different things.
I think it has a lot to do with knowing yourself, too. You like, I know myself. A threesome's not going to work for me, because I'm being counting strokes. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you in love now.
Oh, you want to marry me. Now we fighting. Now we ain't got a lick of clothes on, ass out. Fighting down to the floor, down to the. I'm kicking you all under the bed.
I know
I'm kicking you all under the bed, because y'all in love. Y'all forgot about me. Y'all in love.
Right. I'm in the count stroke. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, she got 23. I get 24. Oh, we in love now. So
why you gazing in her eyes like that? Why you looking at her like that? Why you gazing in her eyes and embracing her like that? Don't do that. So now we gotta fight again. I ain't got time for all of that. I'm gonna be.
But that's knowing you. You knowing your boundaries. Knowing your boundaries. And not saying yes because that's what he wants, not what makes him happy. If that's what you want to do and we're not married and you want to be in a threesome, before we get serious, while we're in the dating aspect and the dating phase,
that's
go
when you
ahead
do
and
do
that. Do that.
That's when you do it.
Give him the right to do that. Give him the leeway to understand we are just dating. Go ahead and do your thing. See as many women as you want, date as many women as you want. And we have not said that if we're monogamous, I don't care who you're with, what you're doing. But when I tell you, it's just me and you, and you say it's just me and you too, then that's when it's all cut off. But get all that threesome out of the way, because that's not what's going to be in a relationship with me. And if that's what you want, I am not the one for you. No matter how good and how great we are not compatible.
I can't do that with I realize that with the husband, probably not, because like you said, it's going to be too much that comes with it. And then it's going to turn into a situation that's going to require cops and paramedics. I ain't got time for that. So let's do that when we're single and there's no, like, we're not bound to each other. You free to do what you want. We just got to understand it when we get together. So, yeah, you're right. You're right.
So there's still so many things. There's so many things.
Still there.
But there is so many things on the spectrum that people talk about, what people don't talk about, that has to be on and off the table. And that's coming from knowing and talking and communicating with the person that you're having a sexual relationship with. I was dating a guy and he brought up pegging. I didn't know what pegging was.
What is that? What's pegging?
Pegging is when a woman puts on a strap and has sex with a man.
Hell no. So he wants you to give it to him.
This is I've been divorced since 2015. This is in my dating. But right. So then now you want to get God. And so now you want to get God. But that's part of, I'm glad he told me this. Yeah. So I knew ahead of time as we were talking that this is not what's going to be happening. That I'm going to try it once.
Did he say that before, or like did he spring that on you like, babe, I got something over here in the nightstand I want you to pull out and let's work on it?
That thing. Yeah.
That's how it went.
But that's how we were talking. We were talking about things that we like to do and things that we don't like to do and just sexually exploring. And he was like, I've always thought about doing this, and this, and I have to feel comfortable, and I don't want you to think I'm gay, and I don't want this, and this. And so we came into that whole conversation with, okay, you're into pegging, but he's also into getting spanked and also into to the whole 50 Shades of Grey thing too. So
now, I think that's fun though. I had a 50 Shades of Grey experience.
And that's why it evolved into that. That's like, well, who's now? So now I know when someone says they're in the 50 Shades, who's 50 shaded, who's a shade, and who's graying. So now
I don't know what position that is. I was the blindfolded person. Look, I wasn't doing. I was the one that just. But that was me.
But these are things you have to have and be willing to talk about with somebody, and know the terminology when you get out there as a 40-plus-year-old woman. I didn't know what that was. I did not
I'm just
know
learning
I
that
had.
one.
There's so many things. There's so many things on the spectrum when it comes to sex and sexuality that you have to really talk and have deep conversations with that person, because you never know. You never know what this person is talking about. But he felt comfortable enough with me to be able to talk to me about it, but that was not what was going to happen. So,
Yeah, you know what? You
but
touching on some stuff. This some good because I'm gonna tell you that my friend, yeah, yeah. So like what you said, like with some wild stuff, we gonna have to have some more conversations because I can already tell he with the shit,
right.
and I feel like I am too, but I'm a little nervous at the same time
And that's
because you got me thinking like I need to call him. We need to have a little sit down, like, sir,
yes,
let's talk
sexy
about it.
C. Sexy C says, yeah, I guess men think if a woman pegs them, they're not into men. And that's what he was explaining. I'm not into men. I'm into women dominating me. And I'm like, okay, but I'm not into dominating a man that way. There's people that you can pay for that, and
Yeah,
so,
he might
but
want to
that's
go get.
not, get someone who's going to pay for that. But, if you want me to paddle the butt, I'm good with the paddling and all that other stuff. But then here's where the boundaries come in. We're talking about boundaries. I told him I was cool with everything between he and I. And that was just he and I. But then this is why I was bringing this up. It brings into a boundary that if you've never talked about that before, you don't know what your boundary is, because I did not know that that was something I'd never heard of. So now we had to discuss that, because I was like, I'm down for whatever, as long as it's you and me, whatever you want to do. So he's like, oh, it's just me and you. But now you're saying like, no. I was like, well, I've never done that before. So now you really have to talk about boundaries and continue to have the communication. I bring this up to say you have to continue to have that communication with them constantly, always through the relationship, because tastes, desires, needs, if you're comfortable with someone or not, it changes. So then you have to be able to go back to them and talk to them about this. Okay, well, this is what you're talking about now. This is something different. I don't understand what you need now. I don't understand what you want. So yeah, you have to keep it open. So that communication, that open line of communication, should be not just at the beginning, not just as what we think we know everything about this person. It should be consistent throughout the relationship. That's not just in your while you're dating, but this is in your marriage. If you're in a fiance, whatever, continue to communicate constantly, because people's needs and desires change.
Yeah, that would scare me though.
But
That
then you
would.
have to tell them that. Yeah, but that's kind of. But that's not the relationship I had to
Mm-hmm.
research. I had to research. So yes, there's, as long as it's you and I. But this is something I did not know of, had not heard about, was not familiar with.
Yeah.
Now I know. So now that's the boundary to.
Hold on one. Uh-uh. Come here. Come here. Sit.
So does anyone have any questions while waiting for Kia? She got a Yorkie. My Yorkie's being good. He's sitting over there in the corner, behaving himself. Does anyone have any questions out there
Not
about
Tommy.
some of the things we're talking about?
Yes. That's a good
Because
one though. Like I am gonna have to have this conversation because yeah.
so she confused to the 10th degree, both over 40 and fabulous. Thank you. Why shouldn't we talk about it? The world's going to judge us in any way. Yes, yes. The
That
world's
part.
going to constantly judge us, especially being women. But when you get to a certain age, it's just like I can't worry about what other people
You
think and what other
can't.
people want. I got to live my life and enjoy my body, enjoy whoever I decide I want to be with body as well. So it just takes a lot of introspect about thinking about yourself and finding out what's important to you, discovering who you are as a person, and then expressing that with the person that you decide that you want to. You don't have to do it like Kia and I are open, so we're okay with discussing this in an open forum. But you don't have to do this. That open forum can be just you and the person that you decide to have relationship with, or just sex with. That's all that you have to do. You don't have to tell the world what you're doing, but you definitely need to tell the person that you're having sex with what you like and what you're doing.
Yeah. And it's because I've never had that conversation.
Oh
Like
yeah,
never. Like I've always like even with my that just past experience in general. I'm not gonna reference everything to that, but just before, during, it's kind of always been. I've always been a go with the flow, open to whatever. That's
yeah.
how big. That's why I feel like even now, like yeah, it's heightened, but I just recall always having that drive. Like I said,
Right.
always want it all day, every day. I could go every day, twice
Me
a
too.
day,
Me too.
sometimes twice a day. The only time I break is when, women go through their thing. But other than that, like when my friend, when we're together, he be like,
Yeah.
ma'am, you gotta chill out. No, I don't. Like, I need you to get yourself together because this is what it is. So it's because, and especially when it's
Grab a
good,
Gatorade.
yeah, it's fun and it's exciting, and you just constantly, you want to do it. So it's like the drive and everything has always been there. So I don't even know. I just think the thing for
You're
me
open to
now is
explore
just
it now. You have the freedom to explore it
to
and you
explore. I'm not
enjoy it.
limited. And and honestly, and this ain't, I also get a kick. Like, I like when my thing is, I like when I blow their mind and they be like, "Oh, you asked me? I did that." Like, it's certain little things. So for me, it's like a challenge. Like, even
Right.
with just being, stop it. Oh, he's just so rude. Just being, yeah, like I find too, like, I like kind of taking control a little bit. I like the surprise, like when we get together, even though like the person, he's amazing, and
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. But then when I get to show, okay, so you ain't the only one that know what to do and when to do it, I get a
Right.
little kick out of kind of dominating and controlling the situation. So I do, and
Don't we all?
that's
Don't
the
we
thing. I'm just
all?
learning that too. It's like being comfortable with, I might take it around your neck a little bit. I'm gonna squeeze a little bit and see how you respond. Oh, you want to
Right.
tell me to stop? Oh, okay. But I don't want it to be lights out. I don't want to take you out. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we
Right.
gonna do some
Right.
stuff. Or if I place your hand there and you're like, oh, okay. Oh, this is what she
Right.
into. This is what she likes, and just to let them know. And I think a lot of times too, I'll guide them into, oh no, we can definitely do this. If you want to go there, we gonna go there.
Right.
As
Right.
long as there ain't nobody, we feel like you said, we ain't R. Kelly and on nobody. Ain't no none of that going on.
Right.
Don't bring no farm animals and different
Right.
type of animals, and so we don't do that.
Right.
But as far as any type of anything toys, because I enjoy going to the adult store like it's Walmart,
Yes.
and I want to go with you. I want us to
Right.
talk. I'm sitting there asking folks questions like, "Girl, for real? And this how you use that?" And they be like, come on over here, because this for us. You need to be asking the questions so we can know how to use this thing when we buy it. So stuff like that is so, and you do that. I want to go in. I want to go and look around. Like
Right.
right now, I want one of them things where they can control it from across the universe.
Okay, it's called that's called a WeConnect. It's
I saw
$200.
one.
Yes, I'm in a long distance relationship with someone, and the WeConnect
Does it
is,
work?
girl, it works. It works.
I'm gonna
It's an
order it.
app. It's an app,
Yes.
and then they can just but you have to make sure that you are not doing anything that's vitally important to you that you might, because they can hit it whenever you just the next thing you know you know. Yes, and tell me how you feel.
I told him. I said I want one, and we went on a hunt looking for it, and I
It's
found one.
called a WeConnect,
And
and
it's
they have them with
the U shape thing, right?
It's U shape, and yes, and it goes in and it clips, and that kind of clips in, and then it's different vibrations.
Is it
It's
comfortable?
different. You don't wear it all the time. You have to kind of know when you want to play.
I go ready to walk. I'm ready to walk around with on all day. Get up in the morning.
Yeah, yes, and then you just and then you want to play, and then it's called a WeConnect, and it's about $250, and it comes with different vibrations, and then it'll tap and it'll say, such and such wants to play. You can give them authorization where they can do it whenever, or you can put it in and let them know. It'll send them, once you activate it, the vibrator, it'll say, Sean wants to play. And then that person will get a notification on their phone.
Yes, ma'am.
And then they can just hit whatever. Then you can FaceTime, whatever. Yes. And they got the ones where you have the remote that's kind of close, where you can just, if you're going somewhere, and hit it. There's also the ones that you can connect from across the world.
That's
as
the
long
one
as they
I
have
needed.
a Wi-Fi connection.
That's the one that I needed, because we were looking. But when I saw it, I'm like, that thing looked like it might hurt. Like, it looked uncomfortable. But now that I got a live review, I'm going to go ahead and order that thing and come first. Amazon will be shipping that thing to you in about 2-3 business days. Go ahead and charge it up. Let me know when you know, get your little Wi-Fi connect. I have it over here. I did. I sure did. Like, it's just stuff like that people, I want to walk through the mall with the thing on.
But then here's the funny thing. I had one of those like 2018.
Come on with it. Veteran. You a veteran. Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to get like you.
Yeah, so there's they work. There's just, you just have to be open and be willing to explore, and be compassionate and understanding to your partner, and if something that just feels off for you, you might feel like it's weird. Don't say, "Oh God," that's what's like. You know what? I never thought of that, and that's not something I think I would be into. But tell me a little bit more so I can better understand why this is before you start to, say no. Because that's what I had to do when it came to the whole pagan thing. What's going on with this pagan? What does it look like, and why? And I don't think that's really,
But they say that area back there is amazing for them. They like it back there.
From like, what I hear,
underneath. Now, I ain't never gone back, but you know what I'm saying? Underneath, it says the closer you get back to the area, the more excited they get.
They're supposed to have as many nerve endings in the anus as there is in the head of the penis. So,
ooh.
Who knows?
I'm going to stay at the head of the line, but anybody want to go, I'm going to stay to the head of the line, but it's okay. It is okay. To each his own. I don't judge nobody. To each his own. But yeah, I'm gonna order that thing though.
Girl,
what's it called again?
It's the one I have is called We Connect.
We Connect, and
I'm pretty sure they have a whole nother range of brands now, but yeah, We Connect is what I have. Yeah,
I definitely want a We Connect, and I'm gonna order one this week.
It works. It's good. Well, we're getting into our time. I'm a football fan. The game already started at 7:20, so I let the first quarter go by.
It's already
so we can talk.
42. Oh my God.
Yes, question. There's a question. What's a sex position that you've never tried that you're curious about? A sex position that I've been on this earth 48 years.
I don't think there's none I ain't never tried, to be quite honest. I think I've done just about everything under the sun that my limbs could get to. I think just about every position in a lot of places. So I don't know.
And I've discovered as after being divorced that there's a lot of positions that are not written that I haven't discovered that someone's son has helped me discover. So I don't know if there's a position out there that I haven't been introduced to yet, but I don't know. I could probably expand on that. What's the weirdest position I've ever been in that I didn't want to try? There isn't any. I
don't think so. I like them all. I can't think of nothing that I don't. I can't think of anything that
I've had upside down, like in like a V
like
shape.
A wheelbarrow.
No, not the wheelbarrow. Me in a V, like I'm trying to make a kind of like this shape, like a V, down in a V. My body's in a V, head's down here, butts up, legs are here.
Oh, like
and he was and he sat on top of me the other way and went down.
Yeah,
I didn't know how great that felt.
Girl, that's a straight shot.
I don't know if that's called.
That's a straight shot right there. You locked in.
You can't move. There's no going anywhere after that. Yeah, you're gonna take whatever that is.
Yeah, you locked in on that one. You really.
That's the one I did not know I wanted until I had it.
Ooh.
But there isn't any that I can say that I've tried and that I curious about.
I don't think there's none that I've. And then I think too with the transition, it was so normal and just with the flow that you didn't even realize. You just end up like how I get like this, like or whatever have you. So you don't even really know it, but they all seem amazing. Like I don't have anything that I'm curious about. I do know I'm open to explore and figure out though, because in this new chapter, like I said, it's all hey, it's fun.
Absolutely,
we out here.
Well, thanks for the question, Smooth 99 Nuke.
Mm-hmm.
You trying to get some new positions that you got a position that you know of?
You got any recommendations, suggestions? Let us know. Drop it in the inbox. If you need to draw the
Send
little
it
figure so
YouTube.
we can understand, drop it in the inbox, buddy.
Send us the Pornhub link so we can figure out what you're talking
Draw
about.
it
Do
out.
it.
Stick figures, whatever you need to do, draw it out and drop it on in there so I can go and check it out. Let me study that thing so I can put it in my book of things to do. Okay. Listen.
All right, that's our time. Thank you, everyone. Are there any other questions? But we gotta go. I gotta get to my game. I'm a big Steelers fan, but I Sunday is for football, and so that's why we decided to do this pregame. Thank you, everybody who took some time on their football Sunday, on their Sunday, whatever day Sunday is for you, to talk with Kia and I. We thank you for supporting us. I thank you for supporting my platform. You guys are part of my collective. So yes, how you healing? I'm coaching. I'm here for you. If you need to talk, you want to talk more about sex, you want to talk more about your career, if you need help with transitioning with your children, if you need help with anything, especially if you're military retiree, I help you with that, and your disability and all that. That's what I'm here for. That's what I do. Just send me a DM and I'll be there for you.
And I just want to say thank you again, Sean, because how you're healing is getting me together on and off the lives. I'm telling you, she is the truth. Tell a friend, refer, go to her page, get her contact information, because my transition has been amazing. She's made it smooth, like for myself, my daughter. It's it's amazing. But I do, like, you're easy to talk to.
I try
and
to
I'm
be.
slowly but surely letting it down. But listen, they need to have something where you got to have a code to get in here so we can really talk.
Oh yeah, that's coming. That's coming.
We need
our
something.
own private Zooms where we go more into detail about what we're talking about now.
Because that way you can talk about the
October.
Tricks. Yes, the tricks and all that stuff. But it's got to be kind of more private so the folks won't be like, she's just out here. Yeah, because I know what to do with it now. I know how to use that thing. I can't really give it to you on the live.
We'll do that in October. But my birthday's coming up. I'm going to be in Cabo, so we won't be meeting next Sunday. But we will be getting together, but we'll have a more intimate, a more locked in YouTube, where it'll be just like, if you want to subscribe, we're going to talk more in detail. We're going to talk about exactly what it is we like to do in detail. So, but that's something totally different. That's not coming until like mid-October. So give us a month to get it situated and what we want to do, and we'll let you guys know. Thank you, collective.
Thank y'all. Have a good night.
How y'all healing. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I got you.